What's up everybody, RetroWolf88 here, and I've got some really cool news to share with you all today. As you all know, as a subscriber to the Nintendo Switch Online, we all have access to the Nintendo Switch NES Online application, which gives us access to a multitude of original NES games such as The Legend of Zelda, Ninja Gaiden, Metroid, Super Mario Bros. 3. A lot of really great games on this app, and Nintendo adds a few every month. They kind of trickle them to us. And you can play these games online, and you can have access to save states and a lot of other really cool features. But wouldn't it be nice if there were other consoles that we had access to with the Nintendo Switch Online, such as, for example, the Super Nintendo? Well, it turns out this may be happening, and it may be happening sooner than we think. So let's get into it. Now, before I cover this news, I want to make one thing very clear. None of this information has been officially confirmed by Nintendo. So while all of this information looks legit, we can't say for sure that this is going to happen until we, of course, get an official announcement from Nintendo. But I would be willing to bet money on it that this is happening. But I feel confident enough that this is happening to make a news video about it. So let's get into the details. So last night on Twitter, there was a pretty big bombshell of information dropped that has me and a lot of other people very excited. This information comes to us from Twitter user @CappuccinoHeck, and he says, "I was finally able to look around NES Online's strings a bit myself and noticed the sheer amount of SNES games planned. The list of games that he discovered in the code is as follows: Super Mario Kart, Super Soccer, Legend of Zelda Link to the Past, Demon's Crest, Yoshi's Island, Stunt Race FX, Kirby's Dream Course, Poppin' Twinbee, Star Fox, Contra 3, Kirby Superstar, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Kirby's Dream Land 3, Super Metroid, Super Mario World, Pilot Wings, and F-Zero." He goes on to post the proof of the information, and basically he posts on Twitter the code. And I'll show the tweet here. I'm not going to show the actual code. If you want to see the code itself, go to his Twitter account, click on the link, and you can look at the code. And as you scroll down through the actual code, you will see the names of all these Super Nintendo titles, as well as descriptions for them. So to me, this looks pretty legit, and it has me very excited. In addition to that, we have further information from Twitter user @OatmealDome, and he says, "I was looking through the NES Switch app with @CappuccinoHeck and @Simon1844. I found 4 emulator types." He goes on the list of 4 emulator types. The first 2 are for the NES Classic and the SNES Classic. They're basically code words that stand for those emulator types. Then he lists 2 more, Hyoku and Count. So those are code words for 2 undisclosed consoles. He goes on to say, "This could mean there will be 2 new classic consoles and or 3 new consoles for Switch Online." What are these 2 new consoles? We don't know yet. We'll have to wait and find out more when we hear an official announcement from Nintendo. They could be the Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. It could be the Nintendo 64, or even what I really want, the GameCube. We'll have to wait and see. Now let me tell you what I think about this. Now let's be honest with ourselves. The Nintendo Switch Online has not been the greatest service from Nintendo. They've had a lot of missteps with this service. They've made a lot of decisions that, from our standpoint, does not seem to be smart or make sense. For example, the Nintendo Switch Online app and having to do voice chat through that. Stuff like that. Not being able to message people on our friends list and still having to send friend codes to people. I know that's not the only way you can add people, but that is still a thing. So Nintendo still has a ways to go to improve their online service, but after reading this, I'm very excited to see where they're going to take it, because to me this is a step in the right direction. So if this is true, and this is our initial list of Super Nintendo games, and say it gets dropped into its own app, the Nintendo Switch SNES Online app, then we are looking at a stellar launch of games for the Super Nintendo. I mean, we have got some absolute masterpieces on this list. Super Mario Kart, Legend of Zelda Link to the Past, Super Metroid, Super Mario World, the list goes on and on. And if we can play these games online with other people, that's going to be amazing. I would love to play Super Mario Kart online with friends and family, as well as Contra 3, because I love me some Contra 3. Now, we still have a lot of unanswered questions about this. For example, will Nintendo still be releasing NES games on a regular basis? Will they, once they come out with this initial pool of Super Nintendo games, will they continue to release more Super Nintendo games? Will they maintain both apps separately? Will they be together? There's still a lot we don't know, so we have to wait on an official announcement from Nintendo to hopefully get those details. But I'm super excited about this. I love the Super Nintendo. It was a great console. And to be honest, I like where Nintendo is going with this. I know people are upset that we don't have a virtual console, and people are upset that they started with NES games and they've only been giving us a few NES games a month. But to me, the direction that Nintendo is taking with their legacy content, their older content, is they're going the way of a sort of a streaming service, like Netflix for games, but for Nintendo games. And you know what? I'm okay with this. If I can pay a low monthly payment or a low yearly payment to have access to hundreds and hundreds of classic Nintendo games that I can play anytime I want, do save states, play online with people, and other additional features, to me, that's really cool. I'm perfectly fine with not having to buy all these games over again. So I think Nintendo is taking this in the right direction, similar to what we're seeing with Microsoft right now with Xbox Game Pass. And I really hope that they continue to add more consoles to it. I really want to see the Nintendo 64. I want to see GameCube, Game Boy. Let's just do it all. Now, I can understand we may not be able to do Nintendo DS or Nintendo 3DS just because of the dual screen mechanic, but all those other systems, that should be doable. So again, I feel like this is a step in the right direction for Nintendo in 2019, and it makes me feel good about the rest of the year. I really hope we see more awesome announcements from Nintendo, more positive changes from their new president. It's going to be a great year for Nintendo. I really feel like it will be, and I am very excited to find out more. So let me know in the comments down below what Super Nintendo games you would like to see in this service, and if you're excited for this service. Also, let me know in the comments what other consoles you would like to see come to this service, because I really feel like Nintendo's going to just continue to expand upon this service and make it bigger and bigger and give us more and more value as consumers. If you enjoyed this news video, hit that like button. It really helps out, especially with this being a new channel. And if you would like to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button, because we will be doing more news videos to update you guys and gals on what is going on in the gaming industry. And with that, I'm out. I will catch you folks next time.